Oh, dude,
Like,
he has like
he's-
20 million followers on
That's
Instagram.
insane.
He's a
bro.
megastar.
It's literally insane. And he
Like
was,
him, don't like him when the guy's huge.
Yeah.
Huge. He's everywhere.
Well, it looked like I was getting the chat was saying we were having no sound, but I think our
Yeah,
sound.
we should be back.
Okay, we should be back. There it goes. The chat was kind of freaking.
My dad even informed my dad said no sound.
The chat was freaking
Okay,
out. But
so
hey, at least we
let's
know
do
people
it again, Vince.
All right, let's start
Reintroduce
over.
Vince.
Let's
We
start
can have
over.
that conversation again.
Welcome to Pick Central on the bar. We are live on the Barstool Sportsbook YouTube channel. I am your filling-in host, Ben Mintz. Brandon Walker out today, joined to my left by two of the sharpest minds in the history of Barstool Sports. Marty Mush joins us first. What's up, Marty? How are you, bud?
Doing it again. I like that. You actually said the same exact thing. That was pretty good.
I was always trying to remember what I said so I could reenact it.
I'm trying to too. But what I said was that it was like last night was actually a blast. I used to do that in college. Like I would stream myself just playing blackjack to my friends, and it was just everyone would watch. It's fun to watch people play blackjack.
It's like interactive. You feel like it's engaging.
You live through them.
You live through them, and now with our app, you can back that. You can literally like. Logan Paul could bet, and I myself was betting my own money behind him, and whatever he does, I win or lose.
That's awesome.
So
That's
it's
fun.
cool, like you feel involved. Like even if you're not on the table, you could feel involved. So yeah, we had Logan Paul with us yesterday. I got the follow. He followed me on Twitter, that's huge.
Pretty big vibe.
Big stuff. I wish Instagram was way cooler.
I got to go throw him a follow. Maybe he'll follow me back.
Yeah, that's
We had some nice interactions. I thought me and him chopped it up. We had a good
No, he
time.
chopped up with everything. We were saying how he like Big F said, you like him, you hate him, whatever your thoughts are. He's fucking ginormous. He's got 20 million followers.
People have an opinion on him.
Yeah.
The worst thing you can be is like in the middle and people be whatever. Like people are on one side or the other.
You know, the Paul brothers.
His podcast is huge. They're
enormous.
smart. Like they're very smart of what they're doing.
And he specifically, obviously, he had some incidents way back. I feel like he's kind of turned more where people are kind of very like polarized by Jake, and they're polarized by him too. Obviously, he's got haters, but I think at this point he's like pretty well liked. I feel like.
I was upset with myself. I forgot to ask one thing.
What's that?
What'd you forget?
When he slapped that guy
Oh,
recently.
he just did that.
He just slapped in a pen hoodie. He
Yeah.
slapped some guy, which he should have
Well,
slapped
the
him.
guy, the guy did. I forget what happened.
Whoa.
He did something pretty
I
disrespectful.
mean, this
from what I
place
recall.
is awesome.
We had just Dana White in the house.
Dana back in
White is
day
just-
two of Dana White.
Had some
Shout
fire.
out Robbie Fox for that interview with Dana
Let's
yesterday.
I'm gonna wave to him. Of course I'm gonna wave to him. How
fire.
are you?
Yeah,
Hey,
Dana.
Dana. Hey, Dana. How is it, old
Fucking
old
guy's
friend?
awesome.
Yeah,
Guy's a beast.
old friend, lifelong
Guy's the
friend
king
over there.
He's the king of the fight game.
That
Dude,
guy's
he
so
invented
cool.
the freaking not just the
He's
king
the
of it.
king of the fight
Speaking
game.
I mean,
of-
he had started it.
Speaking of the fight game, I got the chills this morning. Like Big Ev knows. Like I'm not a UFC. Like I like UFC. I will watch it. I am not like him who will watch
Yeah.
everything.
Ev's got the breakdown.
knows what's going on. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna be fake about it, but I know
Same.
who Patty the Batty is. We've signed him.
Yeah.
He
It's
walks
going to be a
in-
great signing for us, too.
He walked in this morning, and I was doing mush the line from here, so he saw it, and he just kind of like walked in, and he's like,
Love that.
and let's wanted to chop it up. He was like, we're talking about. I was telling him I want to talk about him with vodka sauce. He wants to get some vodka sauce.
Okay,
he had
little
no idea
Italian.
what it was, but he literally was just like, I knew, like before, like if you look at my interviews before my first fight. I was telling you I'm going to be the biggest person in UFC, bigger than McGregor, bigger than anyone. Before he had a fight, he goes, and look at me now. I have one fight, and people are on my balls. He goes, people are hanging from my balls from one fight, and he just knows that he's going to be the best. And I was like, I wish I could be that confident.
You know what? It's confidence is definitely the biggest part of it. I think there's an interesting thing with guys like him and like McGregor and like some of these guys, even like Sugar Sean's kind of like it too, where they blow up so fast. And I think what they do, it's having the mix of obviously like the talent, like you can fight, but just that confidence and that like kind of what you said, like him saying before he ever fought, you almost like will it into existence. Like
Yeah.
you beat people over the head with it so long, they just start to believe it.
He said,
And if you can match that with the actual talent, like in the cage, you're the full package,
he
and
said,
that's what he is.
all I want to do is beat people's faces in and add zeros to me bank account.
And if you have
To
someone
me,
like
bank account, not
and,
mine.
Yeah.
and somebody like him who can fight but also is just super talented on the mic. Like when you have all three of those
Total
combined,
package.
like you just have it all. Like
And I
he's-
realized fast that you realize really quick it's not an act. I thought he was just really good at talking shit, which he just is. But like he is just that's him. He's he's just off the hip. Like, we didn't know he was coming. He came in, just started talking about normal shit. And, like, he's like, I got Usman this week. He said his next fight's probably going to be next year in the UK.
Yeah, I know there was one. This guy Jared Gordon called him out, so that maybe could be the fight. He's a decent fighter. He's
But
more
he
of a
did
wrestling
say,
type.
he's like, everyone's calling me out.
Oh, for sure.
So it's like.
No, he's become that. Like, he's kind of, because I'm such a Sugar Sean fan.
Yeah.
And he's kind of like that, too, where, like, when you just get that big name and that clout and all the followers and
They're
everything.
not in the same.
Nah,
class,
they've
right?
actually talked shit to each other already.
Yeah,
But he's a lot bigger than Sugar Sean's like a 135er. He's like a 155er.
He said he was on. He's like, I was 190 pounds. Like, I could cut weight so fast.
No,
if I want
it's
to.
funny if TJ can find him. There's like funny pictures of him like post like his fights.
I asked him.
His
if it was
face
real.
gets so fat.
I didn't know it was real. I thought.
But
it
he's
was
like
a joke.
chisel. It's so funny, like because a guy, especially a guy like him who's a 155er, like all these guys in the small, they cut a ton of weight.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he's walking around like he like goes on a vacation. He's walking around 180, 190, like you said, and it's funny because his face fucking balloons up. But then fight day, he's back. Like even now, you can see like he doesn't
You
look
could say
nearly
he's
as
cut.
big.
Yeah, he's cut up right now. He's dude.
When you see him in the cage, he's shredded.
He's for real. That's the thing. He's for real, and I'm so happy he's with us because he's just like
He's gonna be a monster.
he is one of us.
No,
but
he is.
He could end your life.
And I love it so funny.
Well,
I
that
don't-
makes him not one of
yeah.
and I'm sure Zach can speak on it more than me. Kind of has like this. He says obviously he's from England, but he's from Liverpool, I believe. And
Yeah.
it's something about how he doesn't claim himself as like English, like England from England. He says he's a Scouser.
Yeah.
Scouser.
Yeah, so the people from those areas, kind of like how the people in Barcelona and Spain, they Catalonians, they're Scousers.
He was saying that like the live stream in 2 weeks that he feels bad.
Yeah, no, I heard it all.
You did?
I heard it all.
He
I was
like,
in the back
It's
listening.
gonna be 4 or 5-0, and it's just gonna be
Nah,
laughing
listen,
at troops. And
listen. I think Arsenal's gonna surprise. We're in a good run of form. We're playing Watford this weekend.
So,
Let's cross that hurdle first,
I
and we'll
think
see what Liverpool
Jack
can
said
do.
it. Jack said it on the show. Which he's so right. Like Arsenal sucked first 3 games, lost 9-0 combined. They've been better, right, Za? They've been winning.
Yeah. We've drawn a couple and then won the rest pretty much.
Yeah,
in the
they've
league.
been winning a couple. So they're going to win probably on Saturday. They're probably going to get
I
to that
hope.
point, and then there's like Arsenal's going to take them down, then
And
they
they
get
get their
smoked.
souls crushed.
It's just set up for Arsenal to surprise, honestly. Liverpool is currently
Well,
the
it
best team
seems
on the planet, and Arsenal usually pulls off shocks.
They're
here
in
and there.
second though, right?
Yeah, but form-wise, I'd put him. Chelsea. The thing with Chelsea is their defense is very solid. Their attack is looking a bit shaky. Their strikers aren't scoring. It's their defenders scoring. They're beating teams 1-0 because they're
Yeah.
shutting them out. But Liverpool attack is ferocious.
Did you hear Balls talk to
Yeah,
him with
Ted
Ted
Lasso,
Lasso?
the
and
Ted
shit?
Lasso.
It
Yeah,
was
I heard
so
it all.
fucking
Oh
funny.
wow!
Had he watched?
I need to
Had he
see it.
watched Ted Lasso?
No, he said he's heard it's great, but he hasn't watched it. But what was really funny, he was wait, no American sports get relegation? I was like, no, none of them
No.
do. It's like he goes, that's great. Like it should.
No,
You know,
I
'cause
agree.
Even,
it adds
even
such
in
a great
college
dynamic.
now.
No, it
College,
adds such.
no.
Well, some people are getting relegated with this conference realignment. You could argue.
Yeah, I guess.
But that's not.
Yeah,
but that's not on the
but
field.
yeah, but that's more. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's-
off the field kind of stuff.
No, that's true. But no, I agree. I think it adds a whole different dynamic and sense of urgency, and it also just discourages the tanking.
See, with the, just like American sports, just the money involved in the contracts, they just couldn't. Because even I've heard Jack talk about it. I think he's right in this sense. Like people talk about like, oh, like UConn should go to like D1 AA and try to be competitive. Like that's so stupid from like a business standpoint.
Yeah,
and just
well,
all that standpoint.
nobody's
like,
gonna care.
Like you can't go down. You can't just go down to D1 AA. That's
Well, I mean,
stupid.
how do you do that to your fans? They're not gonna care.
It's just stupid.
know,
like
like,
it just
oh-
doesn't work in America. Like that kind of stuff. It just doesn't work. It just doesn't it doesn't fit. It just doesn't fit the mold.
Well, let's get into last night, Ev. Big night with the Maction. Bad night if you bet unders in Maction. Wow, those games got wild last
you
night.
cannot bet unders in Maction. Even
No.
both the games, it was like they were both high totals, like 60s, low 70s in the Northern Illinois Kent State. It was 7-0, I think, kind of each of them in the first after the first quarter, end of the first quarter, or before you know it, they both had one. The one final was 52-47. The other one was 42-30. Like easy winners. They both cashed easily. It was incredible. 4-0 sweep for me in the Maction. Man, I saw a stat
6-2 last night. I saw. I went 3-0.
I saw a stat we posted on the sports book. I think it's Mac overs on like the Tuesday, Wednesday games. They're like 46-20 over the last like 4 or 5 years. And then over this, they went 4-1 this week. incredible. Just smash the over. They just score points. They play no defense, but it's incredible.
It's also weird. The midweek thing is like a weird. And I know a lot of teams didn't play the week before on Saturday, but it's just like I feel like it lends itself to overs because it's weird. You don't get the regular full week of preparation, maybe. Even though a lot of times these games, the teams didn't play Saturday and then play Tuesday or Wednesday, but it's just.
But even just
it's
kind
a
of
weird dynamic.
And they've done a good thing just because even just the style of play they have, like Kent State, like Northern, they just score a ton of points. They have a lot of good quarterbacks right now too, like Dusty Crum's
Crum
great.
is very good.
Like Richardson from Central Michigan's really
He's
good.
kind of got a weird body type. But
I love that dude. He's like 5'10" and like
Dude's just
chunky, but
good.
he throws such a pretty ball. Like LRB out of Western Michigan, they got a bunch of good quarterbacks.
I'm just mad at myself. Kent State was the play all day.
Yeah.
And they didn't start well, but it was just that line just showed you it was Kent State.
But even at the end, like me and Big Cat stayed till the very end. We were sweating it. They were up like 18. All of a sudden, we were sweating like a last-minute drive.
Yeah, no, I know.
For them to lose outright.
Just they were the play.
They were. Well, looking ahead to tonight, we've got some Thursday night NFL action, and I would love to hear y'all's take on this. This Mike White hype is just out of control right now. I mean, he had the big game, the comeback against Cincy. He went 37 to 52 over 400 yards. I think we're getting a little ahead of ourselves here, boys.
You know what it is? I mean, it's just fun. That's literally what it is. It's more fun because it's such a Jets thing to like Mike White is actually good, but he's not good.
Yeah, he has one. Well, it's just a Jets thing to get excited about because they've had such a bad
He's serviceable. That's what he is.
I love everything about Mike White. I love that he went to Western Kentucky. They put up a ton of points in college. The whole story. His old tweets are great about like breaking Tom Brady's records and all this. My dad always said this, and I feel like I've heard a lot of sharp gambling guys say it. Bet in a backup the first game, you fade them the next game. I think this is Colts all over it. The line's huge. Everyone's going to be like, oh, the Jets might be good. They just beat the Bengals. Catch a 10.5 easy.
And short week, too. Tough going on the road, short
Colts
week.
look shitty, too. They lose a tough one to Tennessee at home. I think they lay the hammer on the Jets tonight.
This is almost one of those plays that I just want to absolutely responsibly hammer. This is like one that's like, don't fuck around. I'm not doing first touchdown. I'm not doing anything. I just want Colts.
I think this has Colts
so right.
This is Colts like 28 to like 10. Right?
I was thinking 24-10. I was thinking ugly Thursday night game. Kind of sluggish. Jets really struggle. Jets team totals like 16.5. Mike White's is 255.5 passing yards. I was thinking about going under on both.
Oh yeah, Big F said right. It's everyone's like, wait, the Jets can't be that bad. They beat the Titans. Then last week, it's fresh in your mind. They beat the Bengals coming back. Mike White.
Everybody's got the Wentz left-handed thing on their
mind,
everyone's
saying now, Wentz is back.
Yeah.
Like, Wentz is back being himself. It's like, how are the Jets still getting this many points when they just did that last week? It is so, this almost seems too easy, the Colts.
Because this also, when you think about the Colts are laying 10.5, the total is only like 46. They're basically saying the Jets just like aren't going to score.
Yeah, that's the only thing about laying the 10.5 that's tough is that, like you said, it could be a lower scoring game, and so the odds, the margins are a little thin. That's the only thing that worries me about.
I'm probably not going to touch the total just because I like the Colts so much. This is the ultimate. Like I think the Jets are going to end up being a public play. This is the ultimate public dogs die kind of play. It's in Indianapolis. It's the perfect storm of the Jets look good, they get a big win. The Colts look bad, they take a bad loss in the game. They were up 14-0 right away. This is just like if you're like a real gambler, if you like understand how gambling works, this isn't going to happen every single time, but this is just like the perfect spot to just lay the points at the Colts. That's what I think.
Well, yeah, it's the old you're never as good or as bad as last week thing. And Marty, I've been noticing that's really what you've been going on and doing well on.
Yeah.
It's just fading that instant reaction from the week before, whether people overreacted to it. That's literally what I've noticed your strategy's been lately.
People like just to have it like fresh in their mind. They're seeing it like, oh, too many points. They just won. It's like, yeah, just fade them.
I think in the NFL that's like the best strategy. Like I think college you can get away with. There's some lines that sometimes that's what fucks me up. Sometimes in college it almost seems too easy and you try to fade it. In the NFL, I think you almost like have to go like almost the opposite of what you think is going to happen.
Yeah, well, it's also weird, too, because it's like everybody knows in their head you don't want to lay double digits in the NFL unless it's against the Houston Texans. But I think in this spot, you're right. I think it's justified. I think Vegas set this line this high knowing people are going to jump on the Jets.
Because I think this is one, if it was like 5 or 6, I'd be like, ooh, like the Jets, like they're giving the Jets some respect. Like they like Mike White. They're going to hang tough. Where you see 10.5 after you're coming off beating the Bengals who had just smoked the Ravens in Baltimore. I just think it's a no-brainer. Like the line is screaming at you, Colts hammer them.
Well, looking ahead to this weekend, Ev, I want to go ahead and ask you about Ohio State because they got an early game on Saturday at Nebraska. I don't think there's any. I mean, I thought that was a big win last week. I mean, I know that they didn't cover the 18.5, but like you said so much last week that Penn State always fights Ohio State. And Penn State got caught looking ahead to, on the Illinois game, which is a horrible loss. I'm not defending that. But I think beating Penn State by 9 is a really good win. I don't think it's like worth getting.
It's a fine win. Like, it's not hurting us at all. Like, you're not like, it wasn't a great performance. We put a lot of threes on the board when we should have put 7 on the board. We got stopped in the red zone a bunch. They have a good defense, and I said it all week. Brandon didn't agree with me. I said it all week, and I just know Ohio State. I genuinely thought that was a tougher game than what Michigan State and Michigan are going to be. I really believe that, no matter what happens with Michigan State this week, because I think Michigan State is going to lose this week. That's and I don't want them to lose because I want that Michigan State Ohio State to be a huge game.
Yeah, absolutely.
I want Michigan State undefeated, coming to Columbus in like 3 weeks, and Ohio State lays the hammer on them. I think we just match up with them well. Their secondary is so bad, and we have the best receivers in the country. I think we're going to run it up on them, but unfortunately, I think they're going to lose this week. I think they're going to fall into the trap Purdue. It's kind of the same thing. It's like the perfect storm. Like, they have a huge win against their rival at home. They come back down 16, pull that win off. It's Kenneth Walker's Heisman moment. Then all of a sudden they got to walk into Purdue, who's a tough team, good defense.
In a game you're not going to be so jacked.
You can't get up for it the same way you got up for Michigan, 2 undefeated top 10 teams. I mean, you're Michigan State. You're the number 3 team in the country. You're laying 3 on the road to an unranked team. Like, Vegas is screaming you're going to lose this football game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, just like that line.
You think that's the rat line of the week?
It has to be. I mean, if they were like number 20, I'd be like, all right, whatever. But like you're the number 3 team. You're only laying 3 to an unranked team. Like, they're saying that game's a basically a little less than a coin flip game. Like, they're basically giving you 3. They're saying at home that'd be like, for Michigan State, like a minus 5, 6.
Yeah,
game.
5 or 6.
I think Purdue's gonna win.
I think Purdue's gonna win as well. I also think Vegas is giving Nebraska a little credit.
15?
Do
you think it's a trap spot? Is this a trap spot for Ohio State at all? Or no.
It's tough to say because we don't. It's not like a look ahead spot because we don't play Michigan State for like 2-3 weeks.
Okay.
I think it's like November. We basically played them and Michigan back to back. It's like 21st and 28th or something like that. So I don't think it's a full look ahead. Like, we still got a couple games before that. And Nebraska's a good. Nebraska's a good bad. They're like a good bad team.
Yeah.
Where like they've had like they should have beat Michigan. They they should have beat Michigan State too. They honestly should have beat both those teams. They're a talented team. They're a team where they're much better than their record says they are. Oh, I have a weird thing with Nebraska because most of the time, like, I always get a little nervous about Nebraska because I feel like they've always been talented, especially in this Scott Frost era. But then we've just blown them out.
Y'all have beaten y'all.
Like, we've had some games like
there have been some bloody.
I remember even I believe it was last year we played them opening week and they came right down the field scoring us. We're up 7-0 and then we ended up beating them by like 30.
I don't think they've stopped y'all very much.
I think we should be able to score on them quite a bit. Like, I think Martinez is pretty good. He's been playing well. Like, they have some good players. So, like, I don't know. It's a weird game. I think it's kind of a weird line. I'm sure I'll just bet Ohio State. I always say I'm not going to, and then like 2 minutes before the game, I just bet Ohio State. But
I think Ohio State has all the momentum to them right now. They have to, like, these games they can't take lightly at all.
No, we can't.
They have to blow them out to like show them like, hey, we are a top 4 team.
And I think it's almost like, I'm not going to say losing to Oregon was like good for us, but I think it's kind of going off what you said.
In a way it is.
In a way it keeps you on your toes every week.
I'm a big believer that
it keeps, because you can't drop one.
Early in the year in college football too, everybody's kind of, it makes them, the sense of urgency goes up. People feel less invisible.
Yeah,
and honestly,
exactly.
Ev, it was a necessary loss to make the adjustments on defense with Kerry.
For sure. And that's because the team knows, everybody knows, like, you can't drop one. Like, you drop a game, your season's over. You have to win every single game.
That's why I think, like, Alabama did. Like, we can get picked off. Like, Ohio State, we can get picked off. I know I always go back to college basketball. But that's where it's kind of like where Gonzaga is undefeated all the time with nobody. And it's like they don't know how it feels to lose, And then once you get that loss, your one loss being in, like, the championship feels even worse because you've never had that feeling.
I think it's good to even be in, like, if you're a dominant team, to have to play some close games just to have that uneasiness in the third and fourth quarter to where you're not uncomfortable with it when it does come up in a playoff game.
Yeah.
Granted, I want to ask y'all, because I'm obviously biased on it, but, I mean, I'm a little nervous about Hugh Freeze coming back to Oxford this weekend. I'm curious what y'all think about that one because there's a couple of factors on it that worry me. 11 a.m. kickoff is brutal. That hurts home field. Ole Miss had 9 of their 11 offensive starters from the beginning of the year out of practice yesterday. They're so beat up. I know Liberty's not as good this year. They've regressed. There's no doubt about it. But I feel like Hugh Freeze is going to run every trick play known to man in this football game.
You're right, though. 11 a.m. does.
Oh, it hurts it. And
I mean,
Ole Miss is off a tough
kids
Saturday.
party no matter what.
Off
but
a tough Saturday night loss, too, you know.
So
I'm a little concerned.
it's funny because I had said it before the season started. I had said this game, I will absolutely take Liberty with the points, and I'll absolutely take the over. I'm sitting here right now saying I think Ole Miss is going to blow their fucking
Good.
nose off.
I'm glad to hear
That's
that.
That's what I think.
I don't know about blow them off. I think they definitely handle them easily.
I just think Liberty. I'm surprised because I gave out Liberty's over win total. They brought back their whole team last year. They were really good last year. I don't know what happened this year.
Malik Willis regressed a lot throwing the football.
They're
Is what I
just
think
not.
has happened.
They're just not the same team they were last year. They're worse. With bringing back all their guys, they're somehow just worse. I think Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin has proven himself to be good in these spots. Like Tennessee was kind of a similar thing where it's kind of like a him against the world kind of thing. It's going to be kind of the reverse of that with Hugh Freeze coming there. But I think Lane Kiffin's got to still feel that little chip. Like this game matters to Ole Miss and to the fan base with Hugh Freeze coming to town.
Only one player from Ole Miss was recruited by Hugh Freeze on the current roster because it was 5-6 years ago.
Yeah, I think,
so it's like one of those things for the fans that matters, but the players weren't recruited by him.
No, that's fair, but I think it's one of those. That's kind of what I meant by like even though Lane Kiffin's not like directly involved in it, I think you still kind of feel it from the fan base. I know the line's like 9.5. Like I think they beat them by double digits. I'm willing to lay
I hope you're right. I feel like I'm just paranoid in my own head because this reminds me of like Ole Miss Memphis games where Ole Miss has struggled the past. Where Liberty, it's their Super Bowl. Ole Miss has just played all these SEC games in a row.
That's fair.
And they're beat up, and it's 11 a.m. And so, but anyway, I don't want to.
I'll say this just to finish off, just talking about this game. This game seems to me like it's either Ole Miss wins by like 20 plus, or it's like last team who has the ball wins the game kind of game.
Well, let's talk.
No in between.
Before we get to more college football and NFL, let's talk about Bare Bottom Clothing. Bare Bottom is on a mission to make the most comfortable, made-to-last menswear around while giving back to the communities where their clothing is made. Comfy season is here. Stock your closet with comfort without paying the insane markups you see at the other online and big box brands. You can feel good wearing your bare bottoms because for each item you purchase, a nutritious school meal is donated to a child in need. Everything is built for value. You're getting the softest and stretchiest clothes in the game for a great deal while doing some good in the process. For a limited time, Bare Bottom is giving you an incredibly soft tech tee or natural dye tee for free when you spend $150. You can also get 10% off your first order by going to barebottomclothing.com/picks. That's BEAR, like the animal, bottomclothing.com/picks for Bare Bottom Clothing. All right, moving on to some more exciting college football action this week. I do want to mention I'm flying to Vegas today, 4 p.m., boys. 6th World Series main event of my poker career tomorrow. It's weird. The turnaround on this is so fast from Oxford and New Orleans. I mean, I played that Vegas warm-up trip when I went out a few weeks ago. I cashed 2 out of the 5. I'm not going to make this. I'm making this brief, guys. I'm not making this
you're
brief.
good.
But this is a huge opportunity, though. I'll just say it out loud. I want to be the first Barstool Sports employee that's ever cashed in the World Series main, damn it. I want that. I want that. I'm going for my 3rd and 6th. In my career, I've cashed twice. I got 75th for $90,000 in 2011, 327th for $39,000 in 2018. So I've played it 5 times. I have $50K in buy-ins, and I've cashed for $130. So I'm up 80 lifetime. Just a monster opportunity. I don't know what to say. I think that a run in the main will just.
Well, I'll tell you this because
I'm wearing new Barstool
poker is hard to do content with. I understand that. Some of the best content that came out of Barstool was when Nate made a very small run.
Well, he was chip leader early, but it was really early.
It was early, and everyone was counting their chickens, how much money. Like it was just very entertaining, and always and people stoolies like to check in, like, oh shit, Mincy's making a run. Like that's where it is fucking really cool. So hopefully you do, and that'll be great.
What you're saying is exactly right. Nothing is more like Barstool is an in the moment company, like viral moments, everything. It's like what is relevant now. Making a World Series main run in the moment would be hyper relevant. The second you get knocked out, it just goes from up here to just, it's just all about in the moment. So I'm trying not to put too much pressure on myself. I'm playing day 1 Friday. It's weird, guys. Day 1 Friday, day 2 not till Tuesday. It's like really,
wow.
it's really spread out.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Oh,
well-
so like everyone has their first day. Like someone has
So
a
there's
Friday,
6
Saturday,
day
Sunday?
ones. There's so Nate, Smitty, and Jake Toole are playing Sunday. I thought I'm going to do football content Saturday, Sunday. You can't put like as big as the World Series main is. I thought playing Saturday or Sunday, I just lose the content on a football day. You know.
No,
So I thought play Friday, do content Saturday, Sunday, and then.
I kind of like that you're not all in the same one.
No, I did that on purpose too. And so it's kind of weird. It's almost like get through Friday because you can't win. It's kind of like golf. You can't win the tournament on Friday, but you damn sure can lose it. And then to me, it's almost like the tournament starts Tuesday. Does that make sense?
No, for sure.
But either way, I'm not going to talk too much more about it. Just know that I'm really, really excited, and it's just such a big opportunity. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. All right, let's get back in. Oh yeah, I'm wearing a new Barstool We got new Barstool poker merch coming out. I think these are pretty sweet, guys. What y'all think?
No, I like them. It's clean.
Yeah, I like
It's
them.
clean,
It's clean.
You know, you got the stool logo, the card thing. The Cracking Aces merch stuff, well, it, did okay. When Dave basically says don't, I mean, he didn't say don't buy it, but, he said that the Nate bet, I think we need, I'm excited to have some new merch out, is all.
So is Nate going to be wearing the...
Nate's got to wear the mask on Sunday, the full body mask.
That's
And there's going to
amazing.
be an interesting dynamic with that. Not sure if the full body mask is legal in WSOP or not. So what's Nate going to do if the World Series tournament director, Jack Effel, says you can't wear that and Dave Portnoy says you have to? Talk about being at a pretzel. That would be a little...
Yeah, fuck.
I mean, like,
The unstoppable force versus the immovable object.
yeah, I mean, Nate can't win. So that'll be...
You think, why would they? But if guys wearing sunglasses, hoods up, I don't see why you would
and
wear
a mask should be encouraged this year, you would think.
Yeah, I don't see why they would say no.
I don't know. I think the whole thing's pretty...
Unless Nate's like behind the scene being like, yo, tell me I'm not allowed to wear it.
Yeah.
Nudge, nudge.
Some other games on Saturday. I want to mention this Wake Forest thing. So, we talked about it a lot. Number 9 playoff rankings, not getting any respect because they don't have the tiger paws in their helmet like Clemson does. Vegas still doesn't respect them either. Do y'all think this is a rat line that Carolina's favored? Kind of feels that way, right? Carolina's still... We've seen Vegas had a strong power ranking on Carolina. I mean, they were only catching 3.5 last week in South Bend. What do y'all think
So
about
this
that?
is Wake Forest's first real game.
Yeah, no, they played
Basically.
a cream puff war.
Yeah, and it's away. It's weird seeing when the graphic came up. It's weird seeing the 9 on Wake Forest and not UNC. Like beginning of the year, you would think that's what it would be, but I don't know. I think you almost have to bet UNC in this situation because you see the number. Like that when you see the number on that little number on another side and they're plus, it's like wait, that's not
they're
right.
baiting everybody.
I think it's just even more when it's a top 10 team.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's one thing when it's like number 22, and it's against somebody who's
which you're
realistically
who gives
probably
a fuck? Yeah.
28, 29 or something. But this is a team that's literally a top 10 team in the country. They're dogs to an unranked team. You have to take UNC. You have to.
My question on it, so last year when they played, it was like 45-42 early in the third. I mean, do you remember the game last year, how big a shootout it was?
I remember it
You had
because
the over big.
I remember I had the over, but I remember it really because I had Wake Forest plus 12. They were winning the whole game. They almost didn't cover. It would have been one of the all-time gambling tragedies.
What do you think of it at 76, Ab? I know you've taken...
He can't take the under here.
No.
I mean, this is a team that they scored 70. They lit up 56 to a triple option.
Yeah, it's
Lit
true.
up 56 to Army.
That's very
Like if
true.
you think Sam Howell, like they got enough weapons, like they'll score.
Anyone
I think
got
you
any-
got to take the
You got
over.
any ideas of this one? There's so many people.
I think it's
on
part
there.
of Dana's crew. I believe.
This office
I mean,
is...
it looks
this,
like Dana.
I believe it's more of Dana's crew.
This office has been...
Because I remember them. I remember walking by all of them yesterday.
This midweek, Tuesday through Thursday during football season, this office pops.
That's when you know you're big, when you got 9 people with you. And it's like not security guards. They're just all working.
And it's so crazy. Like they're gonna the biggest card of the year is literally it's 2 blocks down the street. It's
Yeah.
we can see it from
Are you
our
going?
desk. I still kind of want to.
Is it Saturday
I'm
night?
having trouble finding people to go.
Is it Saturday?
Yeah, I think I honestly, I swear I had a thought in the shower this morning about just buying and pulling a Robbie Fox and going by myself. I thought. About it.
I think.
Nothing wrong with
if
that.
I
you're
know he
gonna
loves to go to concerts and stuff by himself.
I
give him
do
credit for
that stuff, though. I do that stuff.
I'm
too.
really debating because I just want to be there so bad.
Yeah, I think a UFC fight by yourself is one of the easier things to do.
Have you ever been to a UFC fight?
No, that's I.
Oh, yeah.
I
You should
want
go.
to. So
I went to
bad.
205 at
You're
MSG. It was like the greatest sporting event I've ever been
I'm
to.
really thinking I want to so bad.
It's so sick.
I've just been having trouble. I've been having some trouble finding people to go with me. A couple people here aren't able to do it with like social obligations.
Damn, I wish I was.
My
if I was
best,
in town, I'd
one of
go.
my best friends from home, who is a big UFC guy, he's not vaccinated, so I don't think you can go in the garden
Let
if you're
me
not vaccinated.
ask you a question,
definite
TJ. Did you have good seats?
Yeah, so my grandpa is a boxing trainer, so he's well connected in like the fight industry. So he hooked it up. We had good seats.
That's so the question is, there's got to be like, is it even worth going if it's really far back? I'm not shitting on it.
I think what I would do is I think if I was gonna go, I think I'd buck up.
Yeah, we sat in the
you gotta
100s
buck up.
level, and it was like it was awesome.
I
You
think
could see
I think I
everything.
would need to be at least in the 200s. I think I'd buck up for whatever. If I'm gonna go, I'm going. I'm not gonna like sit in the bleeds.
The thing with the fights, it's not a 94-foot basketball court or 100-yard field. Like, I feel
It's
like
a cage.
the cage or boxing rings or wrestling rings, you need to sit closer because it's just so small.
He's so fucking smart.
Oh, dude.
Like not even like with the UFC shit, just the way he promotes and stuff is so like we're going again with the Nelk boys and like us, and he knows what people listen to.
And you know how he's smart enough to realize that the reason I've heard him talk about the reason why he likes the Nelk boys so much. He's obviously his kid. Like he has sons who are like around our age, like a little younger than us probably. He said they've met everybody. Obviously met literally everybody.
Yeah.
He was like the Nelk boys. They freaked out. Like they freaked out. And he was like, "That's how I knew." Like,
Yeah,
those are the
it's
guys.
Another
that get the young
generation
audience.
too.
And I think Dana, he's made a lot of decisions that people have questioned, and I swear, like 9 times out of 10, maybe more, like after the fact, you're like he's right.
And tell me if I'm wrong. Dana White, Joe Rogan, the other guy, Jay Glazer, are all the same people.
Kinda, yeah.
The ball
Basically.
All
area.
kind of bald and small.
Just cool, cool
and
guys.
it's cool.
Marty, speaking of MSG stuff, when's your college basketball starting very soon? When's this Duke Kentucky game?
It's Tuesday.
It's Tuesday?
Yeah,
Crazy.
Tuesday. Duke, Kentucky, 9
Holy
o'clock.
fuck.
Coach K's last season?
Yep, Kansas, Michigan State is before. We have a 3 o'clock game on Tuesday. So we're like gambling wise, we are back. College basketball is back, man. It's like it's gonna be one of the best years I think because I was saying this: freshmen last year are almost freshmen again this year.
Yeah, because COVID.
They have not. They haven't experienced Cameron. They haven't experienced Kansas. Like
No, you're totally
those
right.
are fucking environments. You're like, whoa. I don't know how I'm gonna handle that. So it's gonna be interesting to see. There's a lot of just good teams this year. I've said it before. I think UCLA is not going to be as good as everyone thinks. I think that obviously Gonzaga is going to be good. All the blue bloods are back. You know what I mean? There's also weird teams.
Kentucky going to be back?
Yeah, Kentucky's very back. Ty Washington is fucking sick.
Tie double
Yeah.
tie?
Like there's weird teams that are going to be good too. Like St. Bonnie's has every starter back.
Yeah,
They're
they
gonna be
were
ranked.
a 9 seed last year.
Yeah, there's Washington State is going to be very as like a team you got to really watch out for in the Pac-12. Like it's going to be a very interesting year.
One thing I want to ask you, so we've seen this in football where, you know, how like Wake Forest is a great example. They had all these seniors come back because they got an extra year eligibility because of COVID. Is that going to impact basketball too?
Yeah, I think it definitely is. But the thing with basketball this year, man, is there's so many transfers. I can't keep up with it. It's like there's over
it's free
100.
agency.
I mean, I would say like Texas. Texas literally picked like they got Marcus Carr, Trey Mitchell.
Bro.
Like they literally just picked the best players off Minnesota, UMass, like just grabbing people from everywhere. Who they got some other people too that are transfers. Those
Texas,
are the two off the top of my head.
Texas is going
that
to
are
be
real
dirty.
good.
But like what's his name also for Kansas? Just dumb guy.
Remy Martin?
Yeah.
Allegedly, no, not they got Remy Martin, but Jalen Wilson got a DWI.
Oh fuck.
So he's not playing on Tuesday. He's suspended. But yeah, it's this. This is where when college basketball's back, and I know I'm a bigger college basketball fan than
for
college
sure.
football, but like it is going to be awesome to have it back. And when it's back, it's like you kind of feel it in the air. The holidays are coming. Like
College basketball is so great to bet on because it's every day.
every day.
It's every day.
I love
There's always games.
The other thing that college basketball really gets right is the stuff start of the year. The MSG stuff, Maui. Now you're seeing them all over the country. Charleston's got a big tournament. You know, all the preseason tournaments are awesome because you're encouraged to schedule tough teams. It's almost like you get more credit for losing to a good team than beating a bad team, the way the NCAA tournament RPI stuff works.
Yes.
And so, like, you see teams get punished that have good records and play no one non-conference all the time.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing where with Duke, Kentucky should always play. Like and like Duke's playing Gonzaga in Vegas. Like that's
Love
gonna be
it.
fucking awesome. Like
What's going on with Bench Mob?
so we got things coming. I can't announce it yet, but we
Fair
have
enough.
something coming in November. that we're going to be doing differently this year, which is cool. We got we have an event that I'm going to announce soon too. We got a lot of things working this year. We have a lot of connections now, which is good. I think COVID helped us.
Yeah.
Because which is bad to say, but I think COVID helped.
I think in general though, when something like COVID goes down, man, if you're innovative, you try to make the best of it.
I just think because everyone was available last year to talk, you know. So like Musselman, Nate Oates, like Huggins, like they all know us now, and like, what's it called? Fucking Musselman wanted to announce something they're doing before the games now. I'll say it on here. I don't even care. It's on the interview, but like they're like Musselman's literally having his team do like a show before the game.
Wow.
He has he got a fucking guy to be a walk-on because he did earn it, he said, but he could ride a unicycle.
There was a big factor. It was him and the other guy. The tiebreaker goes to the guy that can ride a unicycle.
I mean, yeah. That seems fair. Final Four's in New Orleans this year too, Marty.
Yes.
I'm pumped about that. So hopefully can get down there. But excited for the start of college basketball season. Also, you've been talking. It's great for someone like me that's like a casual fan. The SEC just getting better and being deeper, and it just that is a positive.
Deeper, like I asked him, I was like, Arkansas. Since he wasn't there, is like no one cares about Arkansas basketball. Alabama was like, whatever.
Bama was totally whatever.
Yeah, it was whatever.
Just when they had Avery Johnson for a little bit, but even that was like
that was just because Colin
Sexton was dirty.
It didn't work out.
with them two like being like actually could just take out Kentucky, and then Auburn's gonna be really fucking good this year.
Pearl recruits great.
Auburn's gonna be really really good, and I know we're talking about college basketball much, but it's fucked up what they did to Oklahoma State.
Oh, man. I love that Coach Boynton called out all the NCAA, got people by name.
Yeah, they should,
because that's the thing with the NCAA. There's never a commissioner. They're all these, like, faceless, nameless, just people that cause so much problems. And he just went off on all of them by name. They're like, this is this guy. That's so long overdue.
It's a fucking joke. Like, they just penalize people who had nothing to do with it. It just makes no sense.
You teetered with them last year, but you're like, oh, you got Cade Cunningham, so you're going to do it. And then you're going to announce it a week before the season that they're not allowed to be in it. That's so fucked up for these freshmen.
And that's even so messed up now the NIL thing, too. It's like legal for people to.
So Kofi Cockburn, he fucking sold, trunks where you could sell your own merchant. You could sell your own shit. He got money from that.
It was like 10 days before
a month
NIL
or a couple weeks before NIL, and then he realized he fucked up and then donated to charity. So he got 3 games.
Yeah, I saw
it's fucking stupid.
But also, Jalen Wilson got 3 games for a DWI.
Dude, it's
what are we doing here?
I remember my dad always used to talk about this is obviously way back, but like Barry Switzer, like I remember Oklahoma had some shit or whatever because he bought like a kid out. He bought like I think it was an offensive lineman, like a plane ticket home because like his mom died, and that was a violation.
Yeah, that's just.
It's like stuff like, but obviously that was back in the day. My dad always used to talk about it, but like it's so just the way they operate is just so stupid and like it just has no rhyme or reason, makes no sense. I just can't wait till the Power Five just all bands together and just like, yo, what the
succeeds
fuck?
From that.
What the fuck do we like? The NCAA is the most useless, worthless institution in America. They bring absolutely no value. They have nothing. They bring nothing to the table, and somehow they get the biggest cut of the pie. It's crazy.
Yep.
No,
they're worthless, disgusting, fraudulent institution. I can't wait till they're just gone. Like they could just name it something else. They bring nothing. They add zero value. They just fuck things up. That's all they do.
This weekend, the NASCAR Cup Series Championship race is finally here at none other than Phoenix Raceway, and Large is going to be there for it.
Spider 2.
Awesome. Shout out to those guys that do a good job with our NASCAR coverage. Only 4 drivers in this thing in the championship. The final 4 will be putting it all on the line to secure their place in history as champion. Kyle Larson, easily the favorite. 9 wins this year. How the hell you win 9 races in 1 year? What a year for him. He's the odds-on favorite to win this race. And the Barstool Sportsbook is offering exclusive bets for you to get in on all the action and win big. Lots to bet on with NASCAR, so stay tuned for picks. And be sure to tune in to the NASCAR Cup Championship race at Phoenix Raceway this Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern on NBC. That's tune into the NASCAR Cup NASCAR Cup Championship race at Phoenix Raceway this Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern on NBC. Ev, I want to ask about one more college football game, then let's hit some NFL. What do y'all think about this Auburn A&M game Saturday, SEC? I'll say it. I like Auburn in the points. The road team has won this game like 6 years. For whatever reason, this is one of those series where the road team just always wins.
5 is just a very weird line. Whenever I feel like in football, when you just see 5, it's just a strange line.
Yeah, it is.
Like A&M's coming off a bye, Auburn's coming off a big win at home. It's in A&M. Gun to my head, right this second, I'd probably bet A&M. But it's a weird. I don't know because
I just don't.
I'm starting to become.
Calzada yet.
I'm starting to become more of a believer in Bo Nix.
I definitely am.
I think he's not like. I think he kind of got a bad rap. He started as a true freshman. He looked awful in that first game against Oregon. He pulls up the late touchdown. He kind of looked shitty that year. He kind of didn't.
He
look
looked
great.
bad last year.
He didn't look great last year at all. Then this year he's made a lot of he makes plays. In that LSU game, he came up with so many clutch fourth down conversions. He shows like Manziel flashes, not nearly as good as Manziel.
I feel like the game slowed down for him.
He shows flashes of like that, just scrambling all over the place, like make a throw, just find somebody open, turn nothing into something. A&M, I trust their defense a little bit more. I don't know. Like it's a tough game. I don't know if I'm gonna bet it all. If I had to, I'd take A&M, but it's a weird game. 5's a weird line.
Okay. Yeah, I'm impressed. I feel like the game slowed down for Nix because the way he's able to keep plays alive. But, talk about he got such a bad rap. He got forced to play as a true freshman too early. And so everybody decided he sucked, including me. But because he played so many games through his sophomore year. But he's sometimes.
No, he's looked good this year. You got to give him credit. He's looked really good.
Sometimes.
They've won some big games.
Sometimes people, improve as they.
Like, I think we talk about this. Like, I think they could beat Bama. I really.
Oh
think
yeah, no. At Auburn,
I think they
in
can
that
beat Bama.
series, Auburn always gets wiped out in Tuscaloosa. But when the game's at Auburn, it's a coin flip lot. And then the game's at Auburn once again this year. Bama. Speaking of Bama, they are going to massacre LSU this weekend. That was probably not going to be the
28.
It's 20.5. Yeah.
I mean, that's. What do y'all think? Florida 18 at South Carolina. Can Florida lay 18 on the road? I know South Carolina's not good, but damn.
It's weird. It's always weird to watch. Well, I think it's a lot of teams this year.
What's up?
You lower your mic a little bit.
Okay.
I just think the fact it's so weird. You saw Florida just play Georgia, and you're like, oof, like the offense looks so bad. It was weird, but I mean, Georgia's just a different animal. Like the fact that Richardson's starting now. It's funny you mentioned it because that was
last week.
It was a line that stuck out to me. Like immediately, I was like, "Oh, like give me South Carolina plus the 18." But then I thought about it more. I was like, "I don't know." But at the same time, I don't love the idea of laying 18 on the road with Florida. So I think, especially if Richardson's out, I like South Carolina with the points. Probably not a game I'm like in love with betting wise.
Now it is a night game, and South Carolina should have a fiery crowd. I know that there's not any explosive playmakers on that team, for sure. I'm looking ahead to some NFL on Sunday, too. Your Giants could pull an upset this week.
A
lot of distractions
Let me be
in
the
Vegas.
first to say it. The Giants are going to win this game.
Yeah, they are.
A lot of distractions
they're
in
gonna
Vegas.
Win this.
Distractions.
The Giants are going to win this football game. It's literally like it's the same exact line when they just played the Panthers 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
They're +3 at home in a game that everyone's going to go, oh, like this is an easy. The public was heavy on Carolina. I think the public's going to be heavy on the Raiders again, even though maybe the public might start to turn on the Giants a little bit, like they almost knocked off the Chiefs. You saw them just rout the Panthers. Maybe people might think a little bit differently about them than they did the beginning of the year. I think the Giants win this game. I like them +3 and money line.
I'm a little nervous about it because I feel like people are.
It's all public.
They're catching on to the Giants.
I know. That's why I said it.
Catching on
Giants
to the
cover
Giants.
every week?
Yeah, they cover every week.
They've been
They're
scrappy.
frisky. It's like, is this the game they get fucking blown out because everyone's on them? Like, it's a scary thought right now. I'm also, as a Giant fan, trying to think we're in a weird spot now where we're not going to make the playoffs when it's like, do I want to win this game?
Yes.
Like, I always want – and me and Big Ev fight with Glennie about this. It's like, I always want to win. It's like, I'm not about tanking. I don't give a fuck about tanking. But you do start to think, like, I would like a nice offensive
You just don't want to be in no
lineman.
man's land.
Yeah, I don't want to be
6-11 or 7.
That's
Don't
kind of
wanna be
where
6-11.
we've been there a little bit. We've been in that no man's land. I think Daniel Jones, he's in this weird spot where I think he's becoming like I don't want to call him a no man's land quarterback.
Like
but
an Andy Dalton was.
I think I said it I think last week or maybe earlier this week, like he's good enough for your team to not be like terrible, but I don't know if he's good enough for your team to be like great. I think he's in a weird, and also in his defense, like the offensive line is really bad. And the weapons, we should have a ton of weapons. They've all been so injured. Like, despite all that, he's like, if you've really watched Daniel Jones and haven't seen like one bad throw or this and that, you just time in here and there, you're like, oh, like Daniel Jones sucks. If you've watched him play every snap this year, he doesn't suck.
No, he's improved.
He doesn't suck.
Yes, and he's
not
still
great,
his
but he
legs.
doesn't suck.
No, I'm okay with him being my quarterback. I have a question. What was the Jaguars over/under for the year?
6.5,
And
and
it was,
it's
I think it was even 7, Mincy.
I think
Crazy.
that Lawrence hasn't been getting enough flack. Like, everyone kind of expected him to come in and like be like
I thought Urban
ready
Meyer's
to go.
offense would be better. The play calling and stuff.
I thought he was gonna, like, everyone was like, oh, he's gonna come in and be ready to go, turn this Jaguars team not into a 11. Me, come in here.
Come on.
Jerry just said he was going to slash Marty's throat.
I mean, I don't
Just
know.
for the people at home.
I don't
We
know.
invited him in here, and Jerry.
I don't know what
he
else.
declined.
I
He
don't know.
declined and told Marty he was going to chop his head.
I don't know what else I could do wrong to this guy. I don't know what else.
I'm
I could
enjoying
do
the you and Jerry stuff.
wrong. Thanks.
Is he mad at you?
I don't know what could have I done. Maybe because Patty the Batty was on Mush the Line.
I mean, how
He's
could
a
he not?
UFC
be?
guy.
How can
Me
you
and
not
Jerry
have Patty
talk
the
some
Batty?
UFC.
How can you not have Patty the Batty on Mushline? All right, Jerry.
Is that what it is? Is that what it is?
Jersey Jerry.
You should have walked in.
Jersey Jerry in the house. What's up, man? Welcome to Pick Central.
I'm going to tell you.
Always glad to have
When I
your
saw
presence.
Patty, I almost walked in myself.
You
I
should've.
thought about it. I knew you
You
wouldn't have
always
cared, but I
walk in
just
late.
didn't.
What are you talking about?
Is that what you're mad at?
Patty was here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why didn't you walk in?
I was
No.
upset myself.
you always
Jerry.
walk in
It
late.
doesn't matter. That's out of respect.
I didn't know he was on. He walked in and came on. I swear to God.
I know, and that's where you should send a text. Hey, Jerry, come on.
Well, you usually come in all the
Let me
time.
explain something to you. So the fans know.
The Army wants to know.
Before you knew about Patty the Batty,
Mm-hmm.
who told you about Patty the Batty before he joined Barstool?
For sure, you.
Okay. So out of respect, you would think, hey, I can get a message on my phone. Jersey Jerry, guess who's here? Patty the Batty.
Well, listen here. I told you, right? You're on the show every day. Anytime you want, you're on the show.
Yeah.
So I thought you were coming in. You're on the show.
Open invite.
You're always on the show. So I thought you were always coming in. That's not crazy.
Listen, when my name ain't on a show, I ain't on the show.
Oh.
Well, I mean, wouldn't work here when I had the show.
I know, but figure, Jersey Jerry, you text me, I want to do stuff for you, and I'm like, yeah, let's do stuff. You would figure, I've been here a month and a half now, that it shouldn't be mush the line. We can come up with something else if Jersey Jerry's going to be involved. But I guess I'm not part of the show, so that's why I didn't come in today because I'm a little upset.
Because you're not on the name?
Yep.
What? I'm not on this name. I'm not on any name.
So you're saying you want your name on the marquee.
So
That's what you're saying, Jerry.
So you want to change it?
I haven't decided.
Well, how would you get Jerry's name in on the mush the line?
I'll make it Jerry the Line. I don't give a fuck.
No.
He's like, that's not going to work.
I don't
It's
give a
not going to
fuck.
work. But out of respect, I should have at least got a message. I'm doing my...
Mush Jerry's Army, maybe?
Yeah.
Or even just a simple like mush the line with Marty Bush and Jersey Jerry.
Yeah, I mean,
I
I'm-
don't know, little.
That's fine. I'm always. You could just talk to me. This is just talking.
I
But
was he-
again, in my defense, I thought you were coming on,
Okay.
and
but
I didn't know he was coming on.
I had my signs video.
Mm.
I had to do the signs video.
You got a sign?
Yeah, I mean, it didn't drop yet, but yeah, I had a sign. But what my point is, I know it's a free, I can go in there whenever I want. You're ready to explain that to me. But something that big,
Out of
something
respect.
that serious, you would figure out of respect, I'd get a text. Hey, Jerry, I don't know what you're doing if you're in yet, but come on, come here. Patty's here.
I agree.
That's all I got to say. That's all I got to say
Well, you
today.
gotta let me. I also like when Patty's in here. I don't want to be disrespectful, texting and shit. Like I don't want to be texting like I'm like he's all because he didn't start the show with us. Like the show was going, we were talking, and then all of a sudden he walked in and just walked right on, and I was like, oh shit, and I had nothing prepared for him, and I was like, I don't want to be texting in front of him. Yeah, I think
How quick do you think it takes a text?
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying, how quick do you think it says, Jerry, come in here?
I think we're both.
Half a second?
We both got points here.
If I had to guess, I think my points are more valid. I mean, we can ask Zah and them and
I would like Zah's opinion. I don't want to ask your army because your army is going to kill me.
Of course, the Army's loyal.
Your army-
we know where the Army
Your
stands.
army's. I'm sure. Does your army not like me?
No, they like you. But some stuff, we'll get to that another day. But I would like to know the guys inside what they think.
Wait, what are we talking about?
You feel Marty was being-
I'm staying out of this one.
No, you gotta. We need TJ.
I
want to unbiased because Zod's one of my best friends.
Yeah,
TJ
I'm
is a
staying out of
good
this one.
unbiased.
Did Patty walk in, or did you ask him to come in?
Glenny, well, he sat on the couch, and Glenny told him to come in.
I don't know. Maybe throw him a text. I will say I'll play both sides. He's still in the office, so there's still time to meet him. Where's he at? I think he's on PMT right now.
I want to meet him too. Me and Jared are big UFC
I want to
guys.
meet
Yeah.
him bad.
The first stream you were on, we bonded. We both were talking about Patty the
Yeah.
Batty. That was his debut.
That's
when
what
you were
I
on the
heard about
stream.
him. I am sorry. I should have sent the text.
It's all right.
That's all right or whatever?
I forgive him.
Okay.
That's
That's
nice.
what I
I'm
forgive.
sorry.
That was
I
kind of
feel
like
bad.
when you
Yeah.
said all right, you're kind of
Because
like,
you
eh.
forgave him.
And
You
I
forgave
said,
him.
I've said Jerry's the one that told me about Patty the Batty before anyone even knew about him. I didn't know shit about him.
Jerry, do you have any signs or thoughts on tonight's Jets-Colts game? Anything?
Yeah, I got a sign. Should be dropping soon. I don't want to spoil
Okay.
it yet, but it's a pretty good sign, I'd say. Had to do with my breakfast, so.
Okay.
Do you like any of the line or no?
Colts 10.5 and 46.
So now, is Mike White gonna start, or is Flacco starting?
Mike
What-
White's
think Mike
starting.
White is
Mike
starting.
White's going.
Okay, cool. I mean, I like the Jets at plus 10.5 if Mike White starts.
He is starting.
How do you think Flacco feels? He gets traded to a miserable Jets team and still can't start.
He's great. He was on the Jets last year.
I know, but he still can't start over Mike White.
Yeah.
You got to
He
get
should
him.
be-
I mean, you come out throw for 400 yards in your
Yeah.
debut. You
I'm
got to
just-
run it back with him.
No,
at
you
least.
do. Of course you. I'm just saying, you're Flacco. You gotta hang it up.
See, guys like that, they just don't know when to give up.
Yeah, you
You
gotta
got your
hang it up.
ring.
He got a huge contract. He got all the money,
Yeah,
too.
he's
I mean,
done.
you know,
Yeah,
he
go
ain't make-
down and let me remember the ring. Don't as
Yeah.
a Jets.
See, now if
quarterback.
Big Ben comes back next year, I'd be a little upset.
See, I don't think Big Ben's a backup guy.
No,
I think
that's not a backup
yeah,
I,
guy.
don't,
Yeah.
I think
I don't
if
either.
he ain't starting, he's
out.
He's
calling it
39.
quits.
Isn't he 39?
Flacco's
39, yeah.
Big Ben's been consistently better for much longer.
For sure, I agree. But that would upset me a little bit because I'd say the last 3 years, the 1 year he got hurt, you know what I mean? He's just
not the-
average
He's
at
not
best.
the same guy.
do you think he's gonna come back?
So, no, I don't think so.
I don't think so. I think this is definitely his last.
They're getting it together a little bit, though. I
They-
mean, I know it was
a
an
little
ugly
bit.
win, but, man,
Well, I think they're in a
wins are wins. That was a good win last week.
Yeah.
They're in a weird spot where I almost think, it's a tough thing to do. The Giants kind of in a similar situation. We drafted a quarterback.
Yeah.
But I think they're going to be in that similar spot where you have so much respect for the guy. He's done so much for the
Yeah.
team and the franchise, but you almost want to like respectfully ask him like, hey, like
Yeah.
let's.
I
Like
thought
you almost don't want him to be the quarterback anymore.
For sure.
It's a weird thing when the guy's been the quarterback for 18, 17
What
years.
scares
but-
me is Mike Tomlin. Now, when Big Ben was struggling in the beginning of the year, reporters were asking him like, "So what's the deal? Are you going to sit Ben, for a week or two? Or what's going on?" And he's like, "No, this is Ben's year. He's going to finish out the year."
Yeah, I mean, last year I thought the Saints.
He loves Big Ben.
I thought the Saints would have won the Super Bowl if they didn't have Drew Brees.
Yeah.
Oh
I
yeah.
know,
I
man.
think that
Oh,
their roster last year
Marty,
was unbelievable.
6-1 against Tampa in their last 7, and the one loss was freaking that playoff.
Yeah,
game.
and that's just like that's a guy where
Yeah.
you respect. He's so respectable. You have to let him play, but it's
Yeah.
like you knew he didn't have it.
He couldn't throw the
fucking
ball more than 20 yards.
we got
literally
to get to our picks because we're up against the clock.
Go ahead, boys.
Yeah, Jerry, thank you for coming in. You got it. Always good. It's good to see you. So Brandon Walker 9-4-1 leading. I'm 5-3. Ev, hell of a night last night.
Yeah,
6-2.
6-2. Nice
You had a
bounce
rough one the
back.
night before. Look at that bounce back. Nobody. It's too early for anybody to really say anything. I was happy though after we all know how big I had the all-time train wreck month last month. The selective aggression working out so far. I guess I can just go ahead and lead off. I got under 46 in Colts Jets. I got under 255.5 passing yards on Mike White. I'm fading him. Like we talked about, I'm taking the Pistons as a 5.5-point home dog against the Sixers, and the Boston Celtics are on a back-to-back. So I'm taking the Heat against the Celtics -6.5. So those are my 4 plays.
All right, I just got a short card today. I might add more NBA later. There's not too many. I just took both the football games. I got the Colts -10.5. I already said it. I like Louisiana Lafayette. I actually got a good number. I got 12.5.
Okay.
I took it this morning. It's already up to 13.5. I think they've been one of those teams. They're not great on the road. They smoke teams at home. I think they smoked Georgia
The App
State
State
tonight.
game was impressive.
I think they smoked Georgia State at home tonight. And I like the Hawks +1.5 tonight at home against the Jazz. I think it's a good spot for them.
I'm going Colts minus 10.5 as well. I think you're right about the Hawks. I think I'm a sucker for
I had
taking the
Utah on my
Jazz.
card and I yanked it.
I
actually had it and I had texted.
I just
TJ
like
Kiss,
taking those spots where it's a good team versus like obviously the Hawks are good too, but just short line like 1.5. Like it thinks it looks so easy for the Jazz.
Yeah.
Hawks are at home.
I also got the Sixers. I am gonna keep betting against the Pistons. They're just so bad. Like Cade Cunningham is struggling hard right now, and they don't have anyone on that football team.
Do we have TJ? Do we have
team.
anybody else's our other cards today or no? Doesn't matter. Okay, here we go. So,
Smitty with a
Smitty
card.
Smitty with the
That's playing hockey.
Smitty switched from tennis to hockey.
There's
today.
no
Smitty Puck.
just
I
the
looked at
Kraken
that- I
minus
looked-
186.
I looked at that Jets team total under 16
Don't the
and a half.
Kraken stink?
Yeah, they've been bad. Wow, how are they laying 186?
I need to know who
He's got an
All right,
analytics thing.
the Yak is up next. Thank y'all for listening to Pick Central. Stay tuned for the Yak. I'm flying to Vegas. Y'all have a good weekend, boys.
Good luck.